Hello, I'm Valentin, former corresponding secretary for the Correction Officers Benevolent Association. I'm doing this video today in response to the special meeting that the COBA called on October 13th, 2015. First, let me congratulate everybody that showed up to the meeting. Retirees were there, active members were there. It was very impressive. Over 270 correction officers showed up to this meeting. And that sent a very specific message to the COBA Executive Board. No matter what was said at the meeting, no matter who spoke and who didn't speak, the COBA understands that there's a problem. Correction officers are not happy. They have issues, and they want them addressed by the COBA. That was evident. That message was sent, and they understand. Now that I say that, I just have to say a few things. The turnout of the meeting was impressive. The meeting didn't go the way I thought it was going to go. There was a little bit of chaos and screaming and yelling. I think that was pretty counterproductive. Organization at a meeting is very important, and that's where you're going to get the most for your money, so to speak, when you come out to a union meeting. A lot of people spoke. Some people reserved themselves from speaking. I noticed that a lot of people didn't vote yay or nay for some of the votes that were taken. So I saw a lot of spectators there, just watching and seeing what was going on. Certainly we know what's going on with correction officers. The COBA brought out their financial consultant, and they also brought out the law firm, the new law firm. I wasn't very impressed with how it went. It appeared that they were hiding or not wanting to speak about anything. They brought out the law firm. The law firm introduced themselves, told you who they were, and told you that they represent the COBA Executive Board, but not the membership. I know Tommy Farrell tried to clean that up and make it seem like you are the COBA, etc., etc. But the fact is, that law firm represents the Executive Board only in the federal investigation that's currently going on. The law firm came out, they introduced themselves, and they left. They didn't allow anybody to ask any questions. Many of us asked, what are we paying them? What are we paying you? The law firm refused to answer, and the COBA refused to answer. It was only later that we kept pressing the issue, and they finally told you that they paid $150,000 for a retainer for the law firm. A retainer is not the amount spent on the services of the law firm. That law firm has already turned over several hundred thousands of pieces of evidence to the federal government. That didn't come without a cost. The fact that they showed up at our union meeting with at least 2 of their lawyers didn't come without a cost. So you can best believe that this is costing you quite the pretty penny. And they are one of the top law firms in the country. So I can't really fully answer your question, but I can let you know that. The independent auditor came out also and basically gave you a bunch of numbers, told you how much was in each account, and left and didn't answer any questions either. My question was, A, is that an independent auditor? I was told yes. My next question was, who's paying the independent auditor? And that was this COBA. I'm sorry, but if I hire an independent auditor or anyone else to work for me, and I'm paying you, you're going to say exactly what I want you to say, and you're going to do exactly what I want you to do. So there is no independence in that audit. Trust me when I tell you. Basically, they wouldn't answer any questions, the executive board, with regards to the federal investigation or really any other financial questions that were asked. I believe Mike Maiello, the treasurer, indicated that he didn't bring the books that day. That's not acceptable. I believe that you were entitled to a lot more answers than that, being the general membership and being convened at a meeting. If you read your Constitution and bylaws, the power of the association is vested in the executive board, but except for a general membership meeting. At a general membership meeting, the power of the association rests with the membership. So you have the power to make motions, to vote on the things that you want changed or done. And the executive board must follow suit. I believe that the October 13th special meeting was a disservice to all correction officers. I don't believe that anything was really accomplished on your behalf. I believe that there was mayhem in the room. I believe that it was a little chaotic, and I believe that the wool was pulled over your eyes, especially when they determined that they would stop the special meeting and start a general discussion. Since they weren't answering any of your questions at the special meeting, including the questions that you had specifically about your facility and things that affected you, they decided to change up and make it a general discussion. What you don't know about that is that a general discussion is just that. No motions that you make can be filed. No vote that you take has to be done. It's just a general discussion. And we had that. And that's why there's nothing really that was accomplished. However, if you show up to a general membership meeting with the numbers that you had at that special meeting, you can accomplish whatever you'd like to do. You just show up to the membership meeting. You have to understand that 70 to 80 of the people that are at the general membership meeting are executive board members and delegates. So most of them are going to vote in favor of pretty much whatever Norman wants them to vote in favor of. And they're going to veto anything that he wants them to veto. So if you do show up, you have to show up with a generous amount of individuals. 270 came out to the special meeting. If 270 comes out to a general membership meeting, you can rest assured anything you want accomplished will be accomplished. And I'll tell you how. All you have to do is A, show up. B, make a motion. Something like this. William Valentin, ESU. I hereby motion that the meeting time of 9 o'clock a.m. be changed to 4 o'clock or 5 o'clock in the evening to accommodate other tours to come to a meeting. I further motion that the time be alternated each month to accommodate all tours. All someone else has to do is second that motion. I second the motion. That requires that a vote be taken according to Robert's Rules of Order, which you should familiarize yourself with because it tells you how the meeting is supposed to be run, who's supposed to chair the meeting, etc., etc. So now, the fact that the motion was seconded requires a vote. All you have to do is raise your hand and vote in favor of the motion that you want. The vote is counted. Once that vote is taken, the union must enforce that motion. So, really anything that you want to be changed can change. You can change the bylaws. The current bylaws are written in a way that nobody can really run for a position on the executive board unless you're a board member or a current delegate. Basically, somebody employed by the COBA already can run. No one else can. Now, I'm not saying that's a good thing or a bad thing. What I'm saying is that everything is subject to change. However, a change of the bylaws is going to require at least 2 meetings with a large number of individuals present. Because you have to request the change, you have to write out the change, you have to get it out to the membership, which is the job of the COBA via the recording secretary. And then you have to read those changes at the next meeting and vote on them. So really, the power is in your hands to make the COBA do anything that you need to be done. We're in bad shape as correction officers. I'm pretty sure that there's a lot of things that you can think of that you'd like to do. I will be present at all the meetings. I'll help you formulate your motions. I'll help you make them get passed. I'll do whatever I need to do to assist you, because I'm a correction officer just like you. The executive board. I don't know if you're aware of it, but there are 8 executive board members out of 14 that are elected to their positions. Norman, Elias, Joey, Liz, Mike Maiello, Tommy Farrell, Benny Basio, and Karen Belfield. Those are the 8 that are elected to their positions. There are 6 that are not elected, which means that those positions are not elected. They go up for election in June. Those are Kenyatta Johnson, Amelia Warner, Danny Palmieri, Albert Craig, Paulette Johnson, and Freddie Fusco. Those 6 individuals have not been elected to their positions. I told you that there were 14 positions because I excluded the corresponding secretary, which is the position that I held. That position is also available because you, the membership, voted me into my elected position, but 4 elected board members removed me from that position. There were 4 elected board members in the room when that vote took place. Several other individuals were in the room, but none of which were elected to their positions. And I was removed. You put me there, but I was removed by 4 board members. I currently have some actions in the court pertaining to this, but that position is also available. That means that 7 positions on the executive board are available at the next election, which should be very, very interesting. The delegates. I'd like to discuss the delegates for a minute. I was a delegate for 4 terms. I have 25 years on this job. I was an executive board member of a specialized unit. I was a member of 2 specialized units. I received several commendations during my tenure. I've never been suspended. I've never been arrested. And I've been a good correction officer. My father also was a correction officer. He retired as a captain, having 32 years on the job before me. So I feel the right to speak as a correction officer. Again, I was a delegate for 4 terms. My alliance as a delegate, my allegiance, was to my members. It was not to Norman or Elias or any of the vice presidents or the board members. Although they were charismatic, Norman's a nice guy, but the members that put me in the position that I was in is who I was loyal to. Those are the ones that I worked for. Those are the ones that I went all out for. And that's why I had some issues, even as a delegate, with Norman and certain board members. Because, again, my alliance was to my members. I say that to say that you have a lot of delegates out there now. And I noticed at the meeting that they felt the need to kind of protect Norman and the board, and I understand that. But at the end of the day, protect them from whom? These are your members. Your members are the ones that are suffering in the jails. Your members are the ones that have the same benefits pretty much since 1995. Your members are being assaulted by the inmates, and no repercussions are the inmates suffering for this. They're not being prosecuted, and if they are, they get a concurrent sentence and a dollar bail. There is no deterrent from an inmate assaulting a correction officer based on these new changes made by the department. It's horrible. But on the other hand, if you even curse at an inmate during a use of force, if you use force on an inmate, you're scrutinized. These are the things you can do as correction officers to improve your situation. Show up in force to a general membership meeting. Be orderly and organized. Make motions for the things that you'd like the union to do for you, the changes that you want made. Let someone second that motion. When seconded, all motions must go to a vote pursuant to Robert's Rules of Order. Vote for the motion that you support. The union must obey all motions passed by a majority vote. Your change is done. Remember, the union works for you. We've lost sight of that over several years of the Seabrook administration, but the union works for you. The COBA makes decisions. They're supposed to make the decisions that you want done. You're supposed to give them that guidance. You're supposed to tell them what you want. That's supposed to happen at a general membership meeting. You're supposed to come out, ask questions, and give the union direction on what you want done. This is not happening. That's why things are running the way they are. That's why the union's operating the way it sees fit. Don't get me wrong. You have a lot of parties to go to. You got a lot of tickets to a lot of events to go to. It's fun. It's great. You got a radio show. You can go to concerts, ball games. That's wonderful. But your benefits are very similar to the way they were in 1995. It's like driving around a car from 1995. Officers are being assaulted. Inmates aren't being prosecuted for the assaults. There's turmoil. And the union is supposed to address this. The union is supposed to enforce this. But it's not happening. This is what you have. Do you like it? Or do you want it to change? If you want it to change, you can't look to anybody to change it. Everybody has to look in the mirror and make that change yourself. Take the time. Come out to a meeting. Come out to a meeting in force. Do the things that I just said. Make motions. Ask questions. And get it done. The union works for you, not the other way around. Stand up. Be bold. And make the changes you need done.